Hey everybody, this is Melina from ScrapBookingWithMe.com and Me Crafty Scrapper here on YouTube and Instagram and over on Facebook at Me Crafty Scrapper Creates. Today is another episode of Scrap Busters, and this project is a little bit different than what we usually make with our scraps, but it is scrap related nonetheless. We're going to alter some regular old index cards. Now these are, you can make any size that you would like. If you've got the bigger index cards, that's fine. These are the 3x5 index cards. And we are going to alter them and put some color to them so they're not, the stark white. And then we're going to make some accordion book page pockets with them. So you've got pocket there, a pocket there, and a pocket there, and it has a little file folder tab at the top too. So any of your journals that you've got, like signature, like the signature pocket, secretarial signature pockets, or any kind of little tucks like these fit right in your beautiful little tucks. These would be great in mini journals too because they are small. These come out, these little pockets come out to be about, let's see, 2.5 by 3. 2.5 by 3 is what these come out to be. So they would be great in mini journals also. They can be put into just regular ephemera folders too. So very easy way to put some of your tiniest little die cuts and things. Like those are the number labels that I did last time. I just used some packaging that I already had and put those in there. But like if you had a bunch of these little stamps and stickers and stuff like that, these hold quite a bit. So you've got that middle pocket, you've got the back pocket there, and then these are some printables, I do believe, from Miss Betty Ann Renfro. And you've got that front pocket there. So plenty of room for all kinds of goodies in these little altered index card accordion pockets. So I'm really loving how these come together. They were super duper easy. The thing that's going to take you the longest is altering the color, and I love doing that, so I don't mind that it's taken the longest because you get to get inky and a little bit messy and a little mixed media-ish. So I am using, you don't have to dye the entire index card. I'm using the Forest Moss Oxide ink, and we have these available in the shop at ScrapBookingWithMe.com. So I'm just going around the edges, both inside and out. Now you're going to have to figure out which side you want to be on the outside and which side you want to be on the inside. If you already know, predetermine which side you want to be on the inside, probably I'm going to make the lines on the inside. So you really don't need to do too much to this side. Just get you some color going on the edges because you only see the top edges of the inside of your accordion pocket, okay? And we are going to fix these pockets on this next one so they're not so flat up against there. They need to be open wide like this middle one, and I just put entirely too much glue on there, and that's why they're not opened up as much. So I'm just getting a little bit of color going on both edges of the inside. That's going to be my inside. Do a little bit more on the long edges, and then I'm just going to spritz with water, just because if you have ever worked with oxide ink, that's one of the wonderful qualities of it. You'll get nice little speckles around where you have put that ink on, and I'm just going to dab it with my messy rag, and see, we've already got that oxidation going on there. Okay, and then I'm going to turn it over. And if you've got a messy mat, I just didn't put my messy mat up here, but if you've got a messy mat, go for it. I'm going to use the Uncharted Mariner spray, oxide spray, and get me a few specks of that going. And then I'm going to get a little bit of the tarnished brass and get a few specks of that on here, just a couple of those. And then get my water bottle, and I'm going to activate all of that and see how it kind of smears it all around. Then I'm going to get my heat tool, whatever heat tool you have. I have the Stampabilities heat embossing gun. This is old as the hills, but whichever one that you have, go for it and start moving that ink around just so that you kind of cover it all. I'm going to mute this real quick and start that, and I want you to see the process. We're already getting some really cute spots around here on the edge. Kind of looks like a tree. What I'm going to do first is with this index card, you kind of just feed off of each index card. So I'm going to press this index card into the one I just sprayed with water. Okay, and then I'm going to peel that off and put it off to the side. And then I'm going to get my tweezers, and I'm going to pick this index card up and start drying it with my heat gun. So there's that card, all nice and dry, good and crunchy. And the back side of it too, which will be the inside. So now I'm going to fold this in half. Okay, and use my bone folder to get a nice crease right there and figure out which one of these sides I want as my front, and I want that as the back, I want this as the front, and I will put some kind of scrap on the front of this to kind of cover up the stark whiteness of that. And then I think I want to round the edges of this one. So just barely do that smallest rounded edge. We have that punch in the shop too, if you're interested in that. You'll never need another corner rounder punch, that's for sure. We Are Memory Keepers does a really good job with their punches, y'all. I've never had a problem with a We Are Memory Keepers paper punch. So then I'm going to go all the way around the edges with my walnut stain, and then my fold also. Then I'm going to go around the inside edges, just get those a little bit. Nothing too major because you won't see those a lot. Okay, and it's fine that you've got a lot of white space in there. It's going to get covered up with book page that we make our accordion pocket out of. And then if you'll notice this, you've already got a head start on your next one because you kind of sopped it up or sponged it with this one. So you've got you a head start making your next one. I'm going to put that off to the side, and we're going to finish this one. And you'll see how fast this is coming together. Now, I'm using book page. You can just use some coffee dyed, ink dyed paper. Let's do that with this one. Let's go. This has got some green in it, so let's go with some copy paper. Some of my green food colored copy paper. See, I just did book page with that one. Some inked book page. With this one, you're going to need to, if you're using the 3x5 index cards, you're going to need your pockets on the insides to be just a touch under 3 inches. Gotta move all this back so I can get to cutting. A touch under 3 inches, so I'm not concerned that this is kind of whomper jawy. Once we get it in there, it'll be fine. I'm going to get that straight edge going there. So just barely under 3 inches. So chop and do another one barely under 3 inches, and one more after this. Alright, so you've got your just under 3 inch wide strips. So then you're going to cut it at 4.5. So this is if you are using the 3x5 index cards. So you've got a just under 3 inch piece by 4.5 inches. And one more here. I got a little bit of ink from that next index card on it, but that is fine. And now I have rounded those corners. I want to round these, so I'm going to fold these in half. I just thought that this was a really good scrap buster because pretty much every paper journalist, paper artist, paper crafting person has index cards in their stash. And we all need ideas on how to use up those index cards, because we didn't get them just for them to sit around, did we? Alright, so I've rounded the top corners of those, and then all we're going to do now is get some liquid glue, and we're going to go just a little line down both edges and fold together. So don't put any glue on the top, or then you don't have a pocket. We're just going down the sides here, just a little bitty line of liquid glue and pressing together. Same on this third one. There we go. Okay, and then we're going to put one line of liquid glue right down the middle. It does not have to be perfectly down the middle either. This is scrap stuff we're making, y'all, so y'all know what I say. Don't strive for perfection. You'll never make anything if you are striving for perfection. Lord knows I'd never get anything done if I was striving for perfection. Okay. Okay, we're going to press all those together. Then we're going to do a line of liquid glue there. Figure out this is my front. I'm going to put that there in the crease of my index card where I folded it. Fold it up and make sure that it doesn't need to go over or move anything before the glue dries. It does need to go over just a touch. There we go. And then you're going to put a line of glue down the middle of that back one and press up. Okay, and then before everything gets nice and gluey, you're just going to come in here and make sure that everything's coming apart easily and it's not all glued together, and your pockets are not glued shut, and they're not. They are beautiful. So that is good. Let's just hold that down for a couple of more seconds. Then we're going to decorate the outside, and we're going to make our file tab for the top. And that'll be our first one done. And look how fast that was. I put this paper away here. And yeah, super quick. I was looking at the time there. That is like crazy, crazy quick. Let's figure out what we want on the front here. I really like that flower right there. Let's cut that out. This was just some paper left over, like a cut off from a collection of some kind. I think I want a little bit of book page back behind this, maybe like that. And then I'm going to trim out this word creativity here. We'll use that. See if you have little cards left over from a collection of some kind. You don't have to use them as is. You can chop them up and use them how you want to. Come along there. Yep, let's even that up a little bit, you know, because I don't cut straight, that's for sure. Okay, that's better. Doesn't have to be perfect. Remember, Melina? Remember your own advice, Melina. Okay, and then I want to just tear out this pretty flower here. That is a very pretty flower. Just wonkily tear that out. Y'all like that word? Wonkily. Oh, gracious. That's so pretty. Let's try not to cut it, Melina. You didn't. Good job. Alright. That's going to be rather big, but that still works. And I still see all of my nice watercolor, oxide watercolor back behind it. And then I'm going to ink my book page and ink around this creativity. And then we'll have to pick out a piece of scrap to make our tab with. So I'm just going to glue on my book page off to the side a little bit, just so that I can get all of this nice flower put on there. And maybe like that. And then glue on our creativity. Right there, maybe. I like that. Okay, now let's make a tab. And I've got some thick book page, and I think I'll do that. So let's do a cut there, and then let's do this cut and fold that over, find my tab punch, and it's a little too tall there, Melina. Trim off just a little bit more of that and get that in there so we can get a double tab started. Just like that. Leave your space at the top. Punch. And then for these, they're so tiny. Let's make a mini tab like we have on this one here. We just put it back in the tab punch and then held it over to the side and punched it again to make a mini tab. Put that off and get some ink going around the edges of this nice little book page tab. Yeah, this is some thick book page, and I tea stained it, so that made it a little more coarse too, so it should hold up pretty well. If you've got some brittle book pages, you probably don't want to use that for a tab. Okay, and then I'm going to put my tab off to the side here, like so. And I need to pull that apart and get my other side of my tab on the outside of the index card, silly Melina, like that. And a little more glue under our cluster that we made. And then of course you could put a little word label there on the tab if you wanted to. You could write on it, do some hand lettering on it if you wanted to. And then we've got a little bit of glue holding that together and a little bit of glue holding that together. There we go. And there we have our accordion pocket made from scraps and an altered index card. Cute, right? I love these little things. Okay, the next one, I want to get a little bit of different color going, which I know that I've already got green and blue going on it, but let's do some more brown on this one. Let's do some, and then I'm going to spray it with my water bottle, and that gets that ink nice and runny. I'm going to lay a new index card here, pick this index card up with my tweezers and dribble, dribble, dribble over on this other index card, lay this one back down, and that will get me some color going on the other side of it. And get my heat tool going on this, and then we'll come in and do walnut stain all around the edges with our mini blending tool. I'm going to do a couple of more splatters on this one. I got the regular black soot spray, not oxide. And I'm going to do some more splattering on this one just to give it a little bit more something something. Okay, and then I will dry that. Okay, while this one is finishing drying, I'm going to get this one going, and it can be drying while we're making that one. So I've got some walnut stain on this one, and I think I want to put some saltwater taffy down for this one, and I'm just going to press my saltwater pad onto my paper there. Okay, and then I'm going to spritz that with water, and I'm going to turn my index card over and press that into that saltwater taffy I just put down on that page. Pick that up, and it's going to pick up pretty well on there and get me some nice pink going. And then I'm going to flip it over and get some of the spray, and I'm actually going to spray that like that, and get some water activating on that one, and put on some of the tarnish brass speckles, and get that all working together there. And going ahead and starting to dry. I love how that tarnished brass reacts to that oxide. Very pretty, kind of like we've got flowers going on there. And I'm going to spray that tarnished brass with some water also, and I will get that ink moved around a little bit. And that to me is a little too muted, so it needs a little something something added to it. I've got some vintage photo oxide, and I'm just gonna speckle. Yeah. Okay, and then I can use my walnut stain mini blending tool around the edges to get all of that white pretty much covered up after everything's dry. Alright, I'm going to use my walnut stain and go around all of the edges and then dirty it up a little bit more too, where it's showing a lot of the white, original white of the index card. And then that one is still drying. That one's been one I've picked up some ink with. I'm going to lay this one down on the back side, and I'm going to get my walnut stain going on the top of the inside before we put our accordion pocket in there. And then down the edges, so you don't see just stark white if we get it, the pockets, you know, where they're not all the way to the edge. So there's our inking on the inside, and then our nice kind of camouflage, camo looking ink splatters on the front. And I'm going to fold this in half. That black soot spray is not wanting to dry. It was not the oxide, so that is a difference between the regular spray and then the oxide spray there. Oxide would have already been dry with my heat tool. Okay, I've got that down with my bone folder. I'm going to do little rounded edges on the top because I like how that other one looked with the rounded corners. And I really love the look of this one. Very pretty. I've got a lot of matte cleaning to do when I get done with this project. I do believe that's the back. It's got nice, good color and design to it. This side needs a little bit of extra something added to it. I'm going to lay that on there because those black soot splatters are still not dry. I'm going to get some scrap paper of some kind. And I really like that gingham. That's pretty. Go all the way across with it. And then that does not match. Let's get something that kind of does. I like that. We can ink those and then put a nice little butterfly or something right there. We've got those those butters from Katie from Happy Mail that she sent me. Ooh, I like that one. Yep, I like that one on there. So let's add that one on there. Ink those scraps. And then I'm thinking this one of Katie's butterflies will go very well with that next one that we're going to make. So there's that piece of scrap put on there. And let's get it put on a little straight, Melina. halfway straight at least. Okay, and then this piece of gingham scrap. Usually I'm not a big gingham fan, but that is very pretty and goes well with that. And then get our butterfly put on there. Like that. Oh, I love that decoration. That's very pretty. Okay, and then let's go ahead and figure out our tab, and then we'll make our inside pages. And I've got some tea stain paper over here. I think if I've got some wide enough, we can make our accordion pocket on the inside from those. I'm just going to cut that across. I've folded it in half. We're cutting it across. I'm going to knock over my glue bottle. Then going to use my bone folder. Get it nice and creased. And then get that folded paper loaded into my tab punch. And get that knocked out. And let's see here. Yeah, I think I'm going to use the whole tab this time. I'm not going to make a mini out of this one. I'm going to ink around the edges. That's some dark cardstock, so you're not really going to see that. Let's get this tab put in there where we want it. And then we can get our pages put in. I've put all of my tabs on the left side, and I'm okay with that. I'm okay that they're not moved around any. They're all pretty much in the same place on all that I'm making. Okay, get that excess glue out of there. Get that back over there. And yes, let's look at this copy paper and see if we've got some that's wide enough for that. So we're looking at just under 3 inches, so that's too skinny. Let's look at this. Yeah, this one will work. So let's go ahead and trim this at 4.5, and then 4.5 again. Okay, and then just under 3 inches there, and another just under 3 inches. And see if we've got one more that's wide enough and long enough. So 4.5, okay, it's long enough. And it is wide enough, yay. Just under 3. That was almost perfect. Okay, and then we're going to fold in half our tea stained copy paper. Just like so. And then we're going to round our corners. I'm going to round them individually because they're not all lining up like I want them. So there's 1, 2, and 3. Okay, and get each individual pocket glued together here. So just a little line of glue down each side. Like that, and press down. And come in and do this one. And press down. Okay, and then your line of glue down the middle. and put together. And then line of glue down the middle again and press together. Okay, then, ooh, get them lined up a little better than that, Melina. There we go. That's better. Line of glue down the middle there, and we're setting it down in the middle there, pressing into the front, get my messy rag and get my excess glue that I've got all over my mat up, and then put me another, just one liner of liquid glue there, and press that in well. Okay, then we're going to look inside before everything gets dried and in place and make sure we're coming apart good, and we are. Look at there. I love these accordion pockets. Two cute file folder accordion pockets made from altered index cards. So yeah, there is that one made. Gorgeous. Love that. There's that one with the food color pockets inside. Here's the one with the book page pockets inside. And let's go for one more. We've got this one almost dry here. I'm going to press what else is not dry into this other index card, and then get my walnut stain ink going around the edges of this one. I like the colors that are coming out in this one. That tarnished brass gives a little bit of a shimmer, and so that is very, very pretty. Lovely. And then I'll go ahead and just lay this down and get that walnut stain going around the edges of the inside, so you don't see too much white around the accordion pockets that are in there. So yeah, I like that. That one's very pretty. Let's do a little bit more drying on this one because it's pretty damp. Alright, that is better. I got a nice crisp one now. Don't have to worry about it tearing when I fold it. I'm going to use my bone folder, fold that over. Now I do have quite a bit more white showing on this one, but I like that. I'm good with that. I want that to be my back, and I'll just kind of cover up this one edge that's got mostly all the white on it, and I'm going to round, just barely round the corners, and I think I will use that pink food color dyed paper that I have in my stash for this one, since we've got that pink going on the front of this, and I love that butterfly. That's going to go very well with that. So let's just get a little scrap of paper going right here on this one. Alright, so I've got this scrap of paper that is gorgeous, and I think this is a little bit of that Cocoa Daisy paper. Let's go straight across with that. See if we can get most of that in there. I love that. Beautiful. And let's get that on there, and then trim that across there at the top, and ink our edges, and ink our butterfly. Pretty. Get our little scrap of paper put on there. and our little butterfly. Okay, and I think our, let's look here. I like that, even though this has hardly any green in it. I don't think it's got a bit of green in it, but it's very pretty. And let's see if it will fit into our tab punch here. If we can get a full tab. And I think we can, like that. And let's see if we want to get it any smaller. I like that. Let's turn it around. Yep, I like it that way. Let's just leave it as is. Don't make it mini. And get our tab put on there. And glue that on. So we're using the same paper what we did for that one, for that tab, but we're just turning it inside out. And I'm getting ink all over my arm over here. So I am going to put this tab on the opposite side that I have put the other tabs on. So there'll be one that's a little different. And kind of get that evened out there and pulled up just a little bit. That's a little too far down. There we go. Lovely. Okay, and then that pink paper. Y'all remember that pink paper? Look at there, how pretty. That one's got a lot of blue on it. Let's get one that's just pretty much pink. Well, that one doesn't have as much blue, but we'll just use that one. Okay, and get our pieces cut down for our accordion pockets. So I need to cut just under 3 inches and just under 3 inches again, and one more time. Okay, and then I need 4.5 inches. Okay, fold them in half, and then you're going to, I'm going to make that the inside. You don't really see the outside of these pockets, but you do see the insides whenever you go to put something in the pocket. So if you have a little bit more of a colorful something, you might want to make those the insides of your pockets, not the outsides. Just barely corner around. And see, these are pretty as is. You could just use this as journaling space if you wanted to, if you didn't want to put an accordion pocket inside of it. I'm going to close up my ink pads here because I think I'm done inking edges. This will be my last little pocket we make in this video. Little line of glue on the inside of our folded up pieces of dyed copy paper. Just barely a little glue, y'all. You don't need a lot. See, if you put too much, and I didn't put a lot at all, but if you put too much, you're going to have it squirting out the sides, and you don't want that. Because then it just makes a mess, and it gets all over your fingers, and then your fingers get all stuck together. And it's just a whole mess, you know. Okay. And then this one. There we go. And press that out. And press that out. Yay. And then line of glue down the middle. And then plop that one on there, sandwich it with it. And another line of glue down the middle. Another sandwich. I guess you could do more than 3 sheets, but I think that would make it a little too bulky if you did too many more than that. So then a line of glue down the middle there, and set it down in your crease, in your fold, and fold it over good, and then come in and do your one line of glue down there and fold that over good. Ooh, this one's pretty, y'all. And you know, I'm not that big of a pink fan, but pink is growing on me. The older I get, I guess, the more it's growing on me. I do like that one. This one needs a word label or something on there. Let's see what we got here. Ooh, embrace beautiful chaos. I like that, and that kind of sums up my life too. Embracing some beautiful chaos. That's pretty. I like that. Alright, open her up and just make sure, there we go, that we're all coming apart. Nothing's glued together. None of the pockets are glued together. So, beautiful little file folder accordion pockets made from index cards. I love these. I hope that y'all have enjoyed this video today, this Scrap Busters today, and it has been very fun to make these and super duper quick. They don't take any time to make, so that is a plus plus in my book. You're using up index cards, so that's another plus in my book. And then the biggest plus is you're using up scrap paper, and that's a ginormous plus in my book, because I love using up scrap bits, odds and ends. I don't like to throw away stuff that's, you know, bigger than my pinky. That's my rule of pinky instead of rule of thumb. Rule of pinky: if the scrap is bigger than my pinky finger, I'm keeping it. It's going in that big old bowl. Now look, I've got lots of scraps in here. I've got some that need to be in my bigger little folder that's got bigger offcuts in it, and I need to get this down to my little bitty bits of scrap. But this is my scrap bowl that I take out every Thursday for Scrap Busters. But anyway, I hope that you have enjoyed this little project, this little scrap buster. I've enjoyed making them, and they're too cute and can fit in any journal pocket that you have and have made and are wondering, what can I make to go in this pocket? These would be beautiful in them, and they hold all kinds of stuff, even your little bitty bits of ephemera, little stamps, little snippet clusters. Ooh, that would be cute in these. Put little snippet clusters in these. That would be darling. So, I hope you've enjoyed it. Y'all have a great day. If you make these, be sure to use the hashtag #ScrapBusters so that I can find you and leave you some love. And I'll see you in the next video. Love y'all. You are my people. God bless. Bye, y'all.